Yeah, hi there, RS. I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I think you just completed my integrated speaking practice test number 18. I want to go ahead and listen to what you said and also give you a score.
To form when the snow accumulates at one place. Glaciers.
Okay, first of all, glaciers form, but you might say the lecture or the information in the lecture or something along those lines. The lecture explains the formation of glaciers. First of all, second of all, third of all. So you should give credit to where this information is coming from so you avoid plagiarism.
Glaciers begin to form when the snow accumulates at one place in a whole year. Each year, these new layers of snow bury on top of each other and compresses the previous layer. This compressive force led the snow to
Now there's a little bit of some pronunciation issues. Between about 10 and 20 seconds, I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding what you're saying.
crystallize and form sugar-like granules.
Well, that's right.
These grains then grow larger and the air pockets between them get smaller.
Exactly.
Causing the snow density to increase.
Okay.
As the time passes, the snow turns into film.
You want to say as time passes. When you pronounce the T, you're saying as time passes, but it's as time passes. You say it almost like a D sound, so be careful of your T.
An intermediate state between snow and glacier ice.
So when you say an intermediate state, A, make that A longer.
At this point, it is about half as dense as water.
Okay.
Gradually, the larger crystals become so compressed that any air pockets between them are very tiny now. In very old glacier ice, crystals can reach several inches in length. Eventually, the weight of the glacier becomes so heavy that it starts moving down due to the force of gravity.
That's pretty good. So I think overall it was organized, it was complete, it was accurate. You didn't leave out important information. You didn't change anything, or your speech did not result in any inaccuracies. So from a delivery standpoint, there were a few instances in the speech where I had some trouble understanding you. However, I think that your language use was strong. You had very good control of both your grammar and your vocabulary, and you were able to explain, I think, accurately the concepts, the ideas from the lecture. Topic development was also pretty good. My only suggestion is remember that you are summarizing and paraphrasing this information, which means you want to do it from the point of view of the lecture or the speaker, not from your own point of view. That's why I suggested in the beginning that you might say the lecture explains the process of the formation of glaciers. First of all, you explain, and then maybe in the middle of your speech you might say another point the speaker mentions is, and then maybe near the end, finally the speaker says that. So that way we know that you are summarizing someone else's ideas. All right, so your score here, I think you would still score pretty well here. I'm going to put you at about between 22 and 23 points out of 30 based on your response that you just did. And let's go back to your question. So yet another question. You said, can you send me a sample response of compare and contrast independent speaking task, as I do not know how to organize such a kind of response. Let me take a look at it right now to help answer your question. I did have a compare and contrast writing assignment for my students at California State University, San Bernardino. And I do have one of the responses which I think follows a very particular organization. Now, you just have to pray that you don't get this kind of question during the TOEFL exam. Okay, anyway, let me go to, I sent out an email to some of my students the other day, so let's take a look at so go to sent messages. Okay, where is it? Here it is. This is actually, it shows you kind of the structure. This is actually a fairly easy way to organize your ideas. So let's take a look at it over here. Maybe I'll try to make it a little bit bigger for you so you can take a look at this. So I think the question you referred to is you're comparing two artists. Well, this particular writer is comparing two cities. So let's see how the writer does that. The first thing is, in the beginning, you want to have some kind of point statement, so you wouldn't have time to say all this, but you could probably say this last part. But let's just see it so you can see the structure. So becoming a foreign student has given me the opportunity of living in two cities at the same time, Querétaro and San Miguel. Living in each city regularly has let me see many differences between the both, but there are three main contrasts between them, which are the size of the cities, the life of each city, and the activities you can do in each city. Now, I recommend for the TOEFL, instead of bringing up three contrasts or three similarities, I would probably not do more than one. So you compare or you contrast. You use one idea, either the size, the rhythm, or the activities of the cities, and then talk about the activities you can do in the one city, for example, and then compare that with the activities you can do in the other. So if you bring up one point of comparison or contrast, that's probably all you can do in 45 seconds. But let's see how the writer organizes this again. So here's our thesis right here. It says the size of the cities, the life rhythm of each city, and the activities you can do. So here's the first part of the response or the paragraph. Usually the first difference that all people see is the size of the cities. Querétaro has grown into a great urban mass filled with industries, buildings, roads, and lots of people. The time it takes you to get from one place to another shows us how big it has become. San Miguel still maintains the essence of a colonial town in which most of its townfolk know each other, although the city has grown a lot in the last years. So we have the size. You can see how that compares with the first point in the thesis, right? Now the next one. Another great difference is the rhythm life of each city. Querétaro has become a city in which its people are usually in a hurry and have a lot of things to do throughout the day. This can be seen by the amount of traffic in the city. On the other hand, San Miguel still remains quite a calm city where most people walk and take their time. Maybe the most important difference between these cities are the activities you can do. In Querétaro, you can find all sorts of things to do, like shopping in plazas, going to discos or bars at night, going to the movies. In San Miguel, there are places to drink and coffee and chat, theaters and art galleries to visit, and many places with beautiful architecture and decoration. Now, of course, you're not going to have time to have this kind of conclusion, but I'm just trying to give you the overall structure, a compare and contrast structure, right? So the final paragraph says, as you can see, there is a great difference between these two cities, and it is best to be in each city according to what you want to do. If you like to be active during the day, survive traffic and stress, and go shopping and have fun at clubs or bars, Querétaro is the place to be. But if you want to have a calm day, hang out with friends, to catch up on things, or use your time in cultural activities like painting or music, San Miguel is a great option. Notice how the writer is not really explaining which one's better, but simply contrast the two cities in 3 major ways. So again, for you, your TOEFL speaking task would look like, instead of having, what do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. You would probably only have your introduction along with a discussion of one key difference along with a conclusion. So you would just have 3 short paragraphs in your response. All right, so I hope that gets you on the right track. This is a very tough speaking task. If they give you the compare and contrast, you should probably practice it a few times, both in speaking and writing, so that you can understand the organization better. Okay, now you had one more question about, I think that you said, can you please send me sample response for any integrated speaking task 3, 4, 5. These numbers are not from your study plan, but are general TOEFL question types. If you go to the speaking area of my course, let's go over there right now. Okay, let's go there right now, and I'm going to show you something. I do have all those question types that you're looking for. So let me move over to the speaking area of my course. Okay, here we go. So in the speaking area, I'm going to give you some lessons right now to help get you on the right track here. These 2 lessons, lesson number 1 and 2, this helps you for the independent speaking task, right? Now, if you go to lesson number 3, that's integrated speaking task 3, reading, listening, speaking, casual. I think I might have a sample there, or I'll show you the structure there. We also have integrated speaking task 4, reading, listening, speaking, academic. You can check out the organization of that particular task in that lesson. If you go to lesson number 5, you'll get integrated speaking task 5, listening, speaking, casual. And then lesson number 6 under speaking, you'll get integrated speaking task 6, which is listening, speaking, and academic. Alrighty? So anyway, I have answered your questions. I've listened to and scored your response. I've explained how to compare and contrast ideas in both speaking and writing, and I have shown you the lessons in my online TOEFL course that will help you with integrated speaking tasks number 3, 4, and 5.